And action. Hey everybody, David G here, founder of the Internet Marketing Party. And I'm really excited today. I'm really thrilled to be bringing you our special guest speakers. They're not only amazing people that are going to blow you away, but they're also good friends of mine. I've been to their home. They invited me over for a birthday dinner. They're just really cool people. I've known one of our guest speakers for probably 6 or 7 years, and the other one I've known for coming close to a year or so, but I feel like I've known her for a long, long time. Anyway, without further ado, what you're going to learn in this presentation in the next 10, 15 minutes is how to uncover I've paid 3 different mentors at different times, upwards of $15,000 to $20,000, business coaches, mentors, people to teach me how to improve my life, my business, and all around everything about it. And one of the commonalities that they've taught me is something that I've learned from people that I paid a lot of money. Well, today they're going to share with you that one trick that I've paid up to $20,000 for free. So make sure you stick around to watch this. So now let me tell you about our guest speakers. Our guest speakers are AJ Yeager and Meaghan Connell. They are known as the power couple, and you'll understand why in a moment. AJ, I've known AJ for about 6 or 7 years. I can tell you a lot about him. He's working on his 8th business now, a serial entrepreneur. One of his first businesses was a very, very successful magazine in Long Beach, California, that he published over 200 magazines. He's raised over $1 million. His current company, he does conversions and funnel building for some of the biggest, most successful brands and companies online. He's just one of these guys that when I really, at first you have your homies and your buddies, and they're all just kind of your peers. And at one point, Michael Lovitch, who helped me start the Internet Marketing Party, who's kind of like one of the more recognized and I guess one of the people that when Michael speaks and says something about somebody that's favorable, people listen. And he's like, dude, I saw AJ's calendar the other day. Holy crap. And this was like 4 or 5 years ago. He's like, that calendar was just like jammed full with, I mean, I've never seen somebody so organized and so laser targeted. And I know this for a fact because out of all my friends, AJ's one of the few people that unfortunately, I know that if I text him, it might not be until 7 o'clock that evening that I hear back from him. And I learned not to take it personally because he just stays that dialed in. And then Meaghan, who I got to meet about a year ago, is just, besides being absolutely stunning, drop dead gorgeous, is just as smart, just as talented. And I mean, the cool thing about Meaghan that I found out pretty soon after having met her is that she was the number one. She was the number one salesperson with a direct selling company where she would go door to door knocking on homes, selling encyclopedias. And so I've heard a lot of the big gurus in online marketing talk about how the number one skill that anyone online should have is how to sell. And if you think like, oh, well, I'm hidden behind my computer screen, who cares? Yeah, it's not about that. It's about having the language patterns, the way to know how to interact and engage with people so that they want to engage with you and that they're happy to give you their money. So Meaghan she's consulted with folks. She's worked at another agency as well, and now she started her own agency that she works together with AJ. So, but today they're going to do something that very few other Internet Marketing Party speakers has done. In fact, the only one I can think of is Jesse Elder, and that is they're coming onto the Internet Marketing Party stage not to talk about internet marketing, but instead they're going to talk about how to make it so that you get more juice out of your day, how to get the maximum effectiveness with your time and your productivity. And it's kind of these days everybody's, you got David Allen, you've got Stephen Covey, you've got all these different productivity programs and time management programs. Well, these two have been extremely laser focused, productive and effective for many years, and they've taken the best of the best from these different productivity time management programs, distilled down the best of the best, included the technologies that matter the most today, because some of that stuff doesn't include apps and wearables and devices that are available to us today that these two are at the cutting edge of. So they're going to share with us some exciting stuff that I've actually seen a version of the presentation they're going to give at the Internet Marketing Party at another event. And oh my God, that's when I was like, I need you guys to speak on Internet Marketing Party stage. And they were both like, let's do it. So I hope that was a solid introduction because you guys deserve it. I appreciate you both. And so without further ado, Meaghan and AJ, welcome.
Thank you so much. That was a great introduction.
David,
I'm blushing.
Your energy is infectious. And I got to correct you first. I am the looks here. She's the brains. She's beautiful, but let's be honest. I'm the looks and she's the brains
I'm the
behind the whole
nerd in
thing.
the relationship.
And you're also the more humble one, AJ.
Yeah.
He is.
No, really, thank you.
But really, the thing that I've always admired about AJ is something that you said is, all of us have heard all of these different techniques and tactics and different things that you can do in your life to be better at this or better at that. AJ is the only person I've ever met who he will listen to a podcast or read a book and immediately go and start doing what he just learned. So
Right.
he is somebody who has a rare ability to not theorize or learn something and then forget it.
Yeah.
He does it and he applies the things he learns. And that's what's led us to kind of where we are today with these hacks. It's because he's implemented everything he's ever learned. And it's become this new awesome monster that has led to a lot of success.
Yeah.
I just realized something. You two, I think, we're going to be the first couple we've ever had on a stage. So that's another.
Yes.
That's a first.
Nice.
So cool. So let's. What are some of the so when you speak on stage on it'll be Thursday, February 18th, I believe, in Austin, Texas. It'll be after we've all come back from San Diego and we're all refreshed and ready to go. So what are you going to talk about on stage, and then let's give everybody a taste test today of what they're going to learn more of when they come to the party.
Well, I mean, we really were talking about it, and the reason that most people will come to the internet marketing party is to learn how to be a better entrepreneur or a better marketer. Right. But for what higher purpose? Why do they want to be a better marketer or a better entrepreneur? And it's really, most people want to make more money. But why do they want to make more money? It's so that they can have more time freedom, right? But then why do they want to have more time freedom? It's because they want to have control, or they want to enjoy their life. They want that happiness. That's their end goal. And everything that we're doing between now and then is just helping us get to that higher purpose. But what if we could have that along the way?
Yeah.
Why not enjoy our life as we're working towards that? One of my biggest mentors. What were you gonna say?
I just want to say something. I want to vouch because, I can imagine someone listening to this and going, well, yeah, that's what everybody says. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, these two spend. We all live in Austin, and they spend a minimum of 1 to 2 days out on the lake during the day, a work day. And when they're out on the lake on their boat, jet skiing and wakeboarding and wake surfing, that's all they're doing. They're not checking Facebook. They're not checking text messages. When they're working, you guys are working. When they're playing full on. And you might say, well, what's the big deal to that? But you guys have a formula that I've seen parts of and how you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely do. And really what we want to talk about is how do you achieve extraordinary results in your life and your business? Not just putting the grindstone and just head down and just cranking out work all the time, but let's look at how you're spending your time. We all want to be able to have more time to do more of what we really want to do. And some of us are in better positions than others, and that's understandable. So what are the most important things we need to focus on with our time, with our energy? And how do we kind of create a system that allows us to do all of that? And in short, in the end, putting together a life of extraordinary results simply comes down to getting the most out of what you do when what you do really matters. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and so is that part of what you're going to share is how to what I'm kind of getting the sense of is you coach people too, right? On productivity and time management and effectiveness. My guess is you probably got a lot of experience with finding out what are the parts where people usually get stuck.
Exactly. And that's what we wanted to add on to, from the introduction, which was a great introduction. First and foremost, we're both business coaches. We've been coaches, we've been NLP trained, we've been gone through so many different types of training, spent thousands and thousands and days and weeks worth of time in training to figure this out. And I personally worked with over 100 different clients, individual coaching clients over my years. And no matter what their goal or their challenge or their objective is, it generally will come down to, Okay, how do you spend your time? What's going on with their time? Oh, well, I want to be able to do this, this, and this. And they're going after this thing they think they should have, but they're not actually doing the work each day when they need to do it in order to achieve that. But then they're also want to be able to hang out with their friends and be a better father or mother or whatnot. So it's like, okay, how do you put this into a program that will work for you? And I think that's the conversation we really want to have with everybody. And as we keep having that with the more presentations that we give and the coaching clients, we've come up with some really cool ways of looking at time. And we don't really like time management. We don't like that word because it's not about time management. It's more about energy management. So we put together some really cool patterns and some tools that we're going to be able to share.
Yeah, basically some steps that will lead to that ultimate freedom. And it's not steps that will take 10 years to get there. It's here are the things you can do this week in order to start doing that, start living that lifestyle next week. One of the biggest things that we'll give, I mean, right now that we could talk about everybody.
Is this the thing? Is this the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say, like, what Meaghan and AJ are about to share, like, it is, when you hear it, like, do yourself, do me, do them a huge favor, but most importantly, do yourself, your family, and your legacy a huge favor. Yeah. And don't let the simplicity of what she's about to share go, oh, well, I've heard of that before. Like, if you've heard of what she said before, let this be the time that you actually fucking do it. For however you have to do it. If you have to hire somebody, you have to, put some accountability, some gamification. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll even come up with a gamification component for the party. So just please listen to what she says. And if you've heard of it before, or if it seems too simple, just do it anyway. And it might, this is one of those things that sounds simple, but the actual execution is pretty hard.
No, thank you for saying that. I'll let Meaghan start that part off, but I'd like to first say that, I repeat that. Like, it may seem very simple when we say it, and you definitely have most likely heard it. But if you haven't done it, or even if you have, it's a great reset. In fact, we do this about every quarter to look back at. We were just at this last weekend with Jesse Elders. David, you were there, and he talked about turning around, looking backwards, and looking at what's gone on in the past here to figure out how to then turn around and plan the future from the now. So what we're talking about is really looking back to our time, but in this particular setting, it's about understanding exactly where our time is going, specifically where our time is going. And it may seem like a difficult task, but I guarantee you can do anything for 2 weeks. Like, it's one thing to add. And there's a couple tools we'll talk about a little bit later, like how to track that, David, that we showed, like quick little apps that allow this, free apps, super simple. And you came up with one too, we never even heard of. Yeah. So listen carefully to this, because this is from us talking, interviewing, and working with and paying other coaches and mentors to work with us who are very successful, multi-millionaires in numerous different industries, not just internet marketing, who have said this time and time again. And it is tracking your time every single day of what you're doing. Do that successfully for a minimum of 1 week, but we like to say 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and the principle here is, let's say that you were looking to change the way that you spend your money. Okay, so let's make a correlation here and explain why we want you to do this. So Dave Ramsey is a great person who we can model this after. So Dave Ramsey, his goal is to help every American, average income, save a lot of money. Okay, so that then they can spend that money wherever they would like eventually. Our goal is to help you guys save your time so that you can then spend that time however you would like. Now, most entrepreneurs are not very structured in their days, and that's a benefit, but it's also a curse, because then what ends up happening, like you said, David, is they will be on the beach working because they can't sever the ties.
I mean, the classic image of like the lifestyle entrepreneur is, sometimes people will put pictures on Facebook like, my office today, and they're on the beach, and you're like, first of all, sand is really bad for a computer. I don't care how much money you have. And second of all, like, if you're on the beach, be on the beach. Like, what are you doing?
Why aren't you in the water? Why aren't you swimming with dolphins?
Be in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this technique will help you and completely give you the freedom and flexibility to do that with your time. Now, Dave Ramsey, when he starts talking about saving money, the first step is not just to go and start saving money, because if you are spending all of your money, you have no money to save. And that's what we do with our days. We work all day. Time, or our work, it will expand to fill the time that we allow it to have. So if we say, oh yeah, I'll get this done today, and then the day kind of goes on, things pop up throughout the day, and then it's 8 o'clock at night, and you're like, oh, I still need to work on this. So you're working on it while you're watching Netflix, while you're supposed to be spending time with your partner or whatever you're supposed to be doing, and it's trickling into every aspect of your life. Well, we don't want that. So what Dave Ramsey has you do when you start saving for money for money down the road is he has you implement a budget, a financial budget. And the first step is to look back and say, what did I spend this last month? How much was on gas? How much was on food? How much was on entertainment? How much was on shopping? Right. Unless you know where your money is going, you cannot just all of a sudden just take money and put it in the savings.
Right.
But that's what too many of us try to do with our day-to-day lives, with our time.
Yeah.
And we say, oh, well, I'm just going to take a couple hours for date night, or I'm going to take a couple hours to go have a vacation. And then the vacation comes and we haven't gotten anything done and we can't take it. How many of us have canceled vacations because we had work to do?
Right.
You know, so the first step to being able to truly manage your time and to make enough time to save and be able to utilize is to track what you're spending your time on right now. So looking back at today, well, what time did you wake up?
Cool.
How did you spend your first half hour? Then once you got to the office, or once you pulled open your laptop, how much time did you actually spend on income producing activities versus emails, answering voicemails? You brought up a good point. Answering text messages. All too often we get an email and we say, I need to answer it immediately right now. But that means you're on somebody else's time frame. They sent you an email when they had time, and now you have to drop everything you're doing to answer them right then. No, sir. So first thing, not in our lives. So we plan our time blocks and we stick to them. And we dedicate certain amounts of time for our income producing activities versus our management time of answering emails, answering texts.
Creating different buckets.
The first step to even get there, to know how to block your time, is to say, how much do I need for each part of my business? Cool. I need 3 hours a day for strictly meetings, let's say. Or I need 1 hour a day strictly for just emails. Or I need 1 hour a day just to manage my finances.
You can't manage it until you first measure it. So
cool.
You can't manage what you don't manage.
Cool. So I want my timer went off a minute ago. So I want to kind of start winding down. Let's give folks a tool or two, so that if the hardcore, the headstrong, the people that really want to improve their lives as a result of taking the 15 minutes of watching this video, what are 1 or 2 tools that they can use? And then let's add a little gamification, wrap this up, and
cool.
Let's get some people.
Can I do one thing?
Yeah.
And this is very powerful. My grandfather taught me this, and it's based on a book that I read a long, long time ago. And I'd like to dare people to send a dare out there through the internet waves and smack you right in the face and say, I dare you to spend 2 weeks at least before the party. So come with your log of where you spent your time. So do it now. Take the time. We are daring you, David and I, Meaghan, we're all daring you to make sure you start writing down your time. It can be done in a journal. You can pull out your journal.
It can be done in Excel.
Excel, if you're a spreadsheet woman like this one, spreadsheet person.
You can do it on your calendar.
There's also on your phone, there's a couple apps. One of them we love is
Coach.me.
Yeah, Coach.me. You can just go in the App Store and download Coach.me. It's a habit tracker, but you can just put the different things that you do and just swipe to the left or swipe to the right to add it on there. Or David, there's that app that you brought up.
A tracker.
Yeah, I was trying to find it because I did that whole process after Meaghan dared me to do it, and I did it, and I gotta tell you, it's not easy to do. So the reason we're daring you and putting all this emphasis on it is because it's elusively challenging. It's not
Yeah.
hard. It's not easy
And
to
it's
do.
not about being perfect. It's not about being perfect at all. If
Yeah.
you miss some, you miss some. This is about getting that baseline as best you can. So before we get into time blocking, before we get into the other really cool tools that we're going to be teaching,
This is
which
the
are
first
super,
step.
super powerful and have helped us double and triple our businesses alone and scale our companies much faster and teach our people how to do the same thing. So it's a super, super cool like technique and strategy, but like go out and do this, write it down however you need to.
A
But
tracker was
track.
so simple and it was fun to use. And what is it? Every 15-minute intervals, right? We should probably give them a little more granular instruction,
Yeah,
ideally.
every 15 to 30 minutes. 30 minutes at the max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 15 minutes is good. What did I do for the last 15 minutes? Just write it down or put it in the app and
Yeah.
put it in the trackers.
One thing.
And one more tool.
We just keep adding one more thing.
Well, just one more tool is that on your desktop, if a lot of us are on a laptop or a desktop, there's you can just download those free like desktop timers and just say, all right, here's what I'm doing, push play. Like start the timer, and then when you're done, push pause. Like there's tools out there to make this super easy. And all of our clients who have done this successfully, what have they said?
Hands down, it's been the most pivotal thing that they've learned in coaching because it set them up for success so that all of the other things that they've learned and all of the other things that they want to apply, they can then do it because they have the time and enjoy their lives in the process.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, is there anything we can gamify this with? So, we're putting out a dare. If someone, the people that actually come back with 2 weeks worth of what can we do? We say,
I'll give them German chocolate. I just had family in from Germany, and I'll bring German chocolate, and I'll bribe them.
all right, and
if
then
they can show me 14 days.
and I'll give them a free drink ticket, or no, I'll give them 2 free drink tickets.
Yeah, we'll buy him a drink and give him some chocolate.
Yeah, that'd
and
be good.
and maybe a surprise gift as well. Like if for you know if people come up there and if they like David, you can make the call to action. But if they come up to you, you know, and say, hey, you know, I've got it, and they bring it printed out, or they can show us on their mobile device, then cool. Maybe we can use them as an example in the activity.
Yeah, and they don't even need to like share with us what the thing, because sometimes it's like I found it very, very disconcerting to find that how much time I was spending in what I called getting ready, like taking a shower, brushing my teeth, and all this stuff. Like it was just like my morning ritual, what I was calling my morning ritual, but it was just like prepping for the day, the shit shower shave kind of thing, and I was like I added it up, and it was like it took like a nice big chunk of the pie chart because you can see it in graphs in A Tracker, and I was like, I need to make my showers like 3 minutes long. None of this like 15-minute shower thing anymore, and like brushing my. So yeah, you start to see all kinds of things. You realize like I don't like it. Like I didn't identify as somebody who just took forever to get ready. That's So.
And my biggest awakening was the same thing. I realized, wow, there's a lot of time just surfing the internet.
Surfing Facebook, things like this, yeah. So yeah, if you're ready for a cold, hard dose of reality, it's like I said, it's only for the headstrong. I know we're like, if somebody decided not to do this, we like they're just like silly. They're just I don't know, unless they've got the.
This isn't not the sexiest technique or the coolest whatever that you can do in internet marketing. We could talk about that all day,
right.
But this is like the stuff that's the maybe unsexy, but it's honestly like that.
Yeah.
That underground stuff that most successful people are using and doing day to day that people talk about, but I don't know that they really practice. And that's the time blocking part and all that's only part one of our talk. The part two, like the end of it, is KPI tracking and some really cool data we're going to share with you that will help everybody in their businesses. So.
All right. So on that note, that'll be Thursday, February the 18th in Austin, Texas, at the Market at the corner of 4th and Colorado. Where we usually host the Internet Marketing Party. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'll make sure and keep doing our ambassador program so that everybody's got somebody to connect with. I'm going to start doing even more connecting at the party so that you not only come and listen to our amazing speakers and have a great time networking, but that there's a lot more high impact networking going on. So looking forward to seeing you there. Meaghan, AJ, any parting words before we say goodbye?
We're excited, and thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you for speaking, and we'll see everybody there. If you're not yet a member, go to internetmarketingparty.com/join. Meaghan, AJ, See you guys real soon.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.